Welcome to another RSR. Tonight I'm reviewing Inter Miami CF2, Tigres UANL 1, Leagues Cup 2025 quarterfinals. Miami wins, and they'll move on to the semifinals to play the winner of Orlando versus Toluca, which is still, as of recording, tied. As you see this, there will be a result, I would bet. But right now, as I'm speaking, it's tied. With that being said, Miami wins the game late. 2 handball penalties are given to Miami. They slot them both home, that being Suarez. He always shows up when Messi's not playing for some reason. I still don't get it. With that being said, both handballs were correctly called handballs. There are no question there. But both teams sucked. Let's be real. Miami was just the luckier team and the better team. The luckier and better team. Slightly, but they both sucked. Inter Miami CF2, Tigres UANL 1 en la Leagues Cup Quartos de Final. Miami avanzar en las semifinales contra Toluca o Orlando. Tigres eliminado. Miami ganador 2-1 esta noche. With that being said, goals were scored as follows. Handball by Aquino. Pretty damn obvious. Ref points to the spot. Suarez steps up to take it. Lasers it past Nahuel to make it 1-0. 1-0. 23rd minute. Same side, but a laser. 1-0. 23rd minute. Easy as you like. 1-0. Halftime 1-0. Medio tiempo. 1-0. For me, Miami were the better team during the first half. Tigres looked scared, nervous. They didn't look like they were feeling right. They did not look like the Tigres where they looked like during the group stage. They did not look good enough. Miami did not look good either, but Miami had the momentum. They had their chances. They scored. They didn't look as afraid and nervous as Tigres did. And that's why they had the lead there. 67th minute, Lujan gives the ball away to Angel Correa. All he has to do is run past 2 defenders. He does that, takes the shot, hits the hand of Ustadi, but it rolls past his hand and into the net to make it 1-1, 1-1. Correa gets the goal, and he almost saves Tigres' ass. Almost, because Aquino gives up another handball. DePaul takes a hit at the ball. It hits the arm and hand of Aquino as he's running into DePaul. So he closed the angle down and got caught with a handball. They check it on VAR. It is a handball. I don't think it was a cheat. I think it was a handball. Got to be better than that, but both handballs given away by Aquino. Suarez goes back up to take it. Sends Nahuel the wrong way, slots it home, a little bit of a curl to it, and it is 2-1, 2-1, 89th minute, full time, 2-1, 2-1 esta noche. Suarez with 2 penalty goals. He's man of the match because honestly nobody else deserves it. Suarez for me is man of the match because nobody else deserves it. Both teams played like absolute ass. Miami was just luckier. And they were better than Tigres, but they were still ass. I guess Tigres was ass times 0.15. Or times... Well, it wasn't that far off. Yeah, 0.15 actually makes sense. And they were less lucky. But after that goal, speaking of less lucky, Tigres take a shot. Hit it off the post. It crosses the line, or it parallels the line, I should say. It never crossed the line. It parallels the goal line off the other post and cleared out. That is not a goal for Tigres, and it never did cross the line. It just paralleled it. There was a little bit of the ball that stayed over. Never a goal. Double post, and Tigres never had a better shot than that to tie the game up and send it to penalties. So it ends 2-1, 2-1. Miami... But again, Miami were just as bad as Tigres, just barely less bad and more lucky. And that's how they won this game. Both teams sucked, frankly. Both teams were trash. This was chaotic both ways. You know what that means? Both teams are shit. Just one's more lucky and one's slightly better. And more clinical when it comes to their finishing. And that's why one team wins over the other. Both teams, when it's chaotic doubly so, both teams are shit. One's just more clinical, one's slightly better, and one's more lucky. That was Miami. With that being said, Suarez is man of the match for me because nobody else should be. Stats are as follows. 14 shots to 13, 4 shots on goal to 2, 40% possession to 60% possession, 374 passes to 553, 85% pass accuracy to 90%, 8 fouls to 15, 0 offside to 0, 2 yellow cards to 1, 0 red cards to 0, 4 corners to 2. Miami, again, were just good enough to beat and lucky enough to beat Tigres. Tigres did not play well tonight, and Miami didn't either. It was a chaotic game for a reason. Miami were the lucky ones. And also, Mascherano better get fined for his antics. Calling his assistant as he's sent off, while basically sitting at a place where all he has to do is yell and his players will hear him, not in a press box. When he was sent off, he pulled a similar stunt to Miguel Herrera, at that Champions League Orlando bubble when they played LAFC when he fought Ante Razov. And he had the freaking walkie-talkie. Remember that? Yeah, Mascherano pulled a similar stunt. And I hope he gets fined for it. But let's see if MLS just lets Miami get away with anything. I wonder if they will. It's freaking Miami. I'm sure they'll get away with it. You got to be an idiot to do that on camera, though. I mean, you should know how stoppage time works, too. It could go over the time they post. There was an injury. Jordi Alba got subbed off as soon as that injury time started. Of course, they were going to add like 2 minutes to it. And he got his money's worth and sent off, and then he started doing dumb shit. Man, no. This game was chaos because both teams were shit. Like, I can't mince words. It's pretty late anyway. I can't mince words. Both teams were shit. Miami was luckier and slightly better, but they still were both shit. This game's not sucked. It was chaotic. It was fun to watch. Miami still had plot armor, tougher than the Dynasty Patriots. I can't believe they haven't won an MLS Cup or Champions Cup with the plot armor they have. That's shocking. But if they play Toluca without Messi, Miami's cooked. If they play Toluca with him, they still might be cooked if they pull this. If they play Orlando, they might be cooked without him. Orlando did just kick their ass recently. So, that semifinal next week is going to be interesting. With that being said, I can't believe, I do have to give Miami credit. They pulled off a win without Messi. Kind of shocking, really. But for some reason, again, Luis Suarez just shows up when Messi doesn't. Like the dude's like, yeah, I got to stop acting like a geriatric. I got to actually play football. I mean, yeah, he scored 2 penalties, but it works, right? He played football. And won. Good for him. With that being said, if you like this video, Miami gets the win. Felicidades, Miami. Congratulations, Miami. Commiserations, Tigres. We have 1 team through of 4 by the time I record this. Record this. By the time it's uploaded, we still might have only 1 team through. By the time most of you see this, we'll probably have all 4 teams are through. With that being said, there you go. If you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once you're subscribed. Send some chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in playlist. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I will see you within the hour and 5 minutes. This might be completely up by then. I'm not sure. For the live watch along of LA Galaxy versus CF Pachuca. And that's all we're going to do for that game because it'll end so late. There's no reason for me to do a review for it. I don't know if the views would do me well anyway. So, Reverse schedule for once. Early game gets the RSR, late game does not. With that being said, I'll see you later. Then I'll see you Thursday for some CONCACAF tournaments. One Caribbean, one Central American game. I'll see you tomorrow for that. I'm Ron and I'm out. Peace. See you.